Okay, all right. Yeah, I do actually have some beer in the fridge, so I mean, but um, must be a Dutch thing. Sounds like a weeaboo thing. Yeah, that just sounds like excuses. I said that just sounds like excuses. Hmm. Okie dokie. All right. Who remembers what we did last time? Hmm. Hmm. Wonderful. Yes. Yes. Um. So, tone this music down. Okay. Yeah. So you guys have gone to class, tried to strategize about what all to do with the scepter clergy thing. And that kind of turned into getting called into what is the equivalent of the principal's office at the Arcanum, and being given the help of several powerful mages. So, mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. And you guys got to meet Lyrian Orndale, although think, if I remember correctly, she was the proctor for the exam, so you kind of already met her. But she was much more reserved in that capacity. So this time, uh, yeah, she's kind of giving you more a more insight into her personality and just kind of how convoluted things can be for her. um, yeah, you got to know her a little bit better. She is also very protective of the students. Definitely wants to quash anything that's potentially dangerous here, especially since this seems like it's dangerous. So yeah, let's see. Um, Cobb got some experimentation done on him. You got Brixton met the Master of Novices, Varric Rendith. Let's see. And I think you guys. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So, no. Yeah. You're kicking butt in class, you know? That it's not, but you're doing the lesson material very well. You're following along with a lot of arcane theory and uh, ethics and so on and so forth. You did last time, so I mean, well, yeah, yeah. Uh, it's one way to get famous in the Arcanum. Yeah. And Professor Rendeith is just like, oh boy, all right. Yes. Uh, yeah, you're just like sitting in this room of like forget how many novices there are, but there's like a handful. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let's see. I have them somewhere. At least the notable ones. But yeah, it is it's interesting because you are learning quite a bit. You're learning more about the nuts and bolts of how you do what you do. And you're being cautioned that if you just do something any which way, bad things can happen. Like the magic can be rather unstable if you're not well trained. And so like he goes on to discuss you as kind of like a case point, um, because like it's like she does this by intuition. Um, Most people have to study in order to do something so proficiently. But if she were ever to be distracted or um, just a little bit off, like a hair's breadth off of whatever her intuition usually is telling her to do, things can go haywire really quick, really fast, and have catastrophic consequences. So um, it's not something to be trifled with. It is something to be daring with, but not, but in a measured kind of daring, is what Rendith is trying to establish. Hmm. Yeah, no, and he is acknowledging that because like you're doing things very differently than how say like mechanically a wizard would, right? So like your version of spellcast is like you don't know exactly how you do it. That's kind of the point of what he's trying to get you to is to figure out how you're doing this, so that you can better manipulate the system to do it better and to learn more about it and to control it better. Um, yeah. That's kind of like his where he's trying to push the class. For the rest of the class, or for the majority of the rest of the class, like they're probably wizards, so they have to read and study and practice. And the control kind of comes naturally for a wizard, because they have to practice it so much in order to do it. Uh, but yeah, just some of the novices just scoot away. Yeah. Yeah. We're we're trying to harness that more than just let it happen by happenstance, you know. It's like ha ha, ha yeah, yeah. Just yeah. Yeah. It's great. Uh the rest of you have just met Professor Lyrian Orendale, the principal augur of the school, seems to have lots of notions and may or may not know exactly when it is she's meeting you, at what point in time or fate. Uh, so kind of testing the waters and has given glimpses into potential outcomes, um, for some people. And yeah, she has acknowledged that she does not know what is going to happen, uh, from this point forward, but um, yeah, she is absolutely more than willing to help. She, Elise and her seem close, and um, yeah, that's kind of where we left off. This is pretty much when you guys met her and introductions were made. So Elise goes on. Then here, let me actually change this to something else. Elise then goes on to ask, like, okay, so you have our aid, and so in the room, I should establish is Folion, um, Aerith, Brumt, and Steinabrook. Steinabrook. They are, yeah, all present. Correct. Actually, yes. Let's start there because things have transpired. So Carl, wasn't he with Brielle, or did you bring Brielle with you? Because Brixta left as Brielle. Okay. Right. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Okay. So is Brielle at the respite then alone, or I forget what we did there? Okay. I thought so. I thought Brumt. We're all caught up. Cool. Um, so Brumpt speaks up and says, uh, "This is all. It's good to meet you all. It's an honor, honestly. We've heard so much about you, and we've had to. Um, yeah. Anyways, what are we doing next? Your help is very much valued, but how do we best utilize your help here? What can we do now? I guess is the question. Um, Elise kind of looks to Lyrian and says, "Well, good sir, we have all of the facilities of our magics to give aid to this particular endeavor. We just need to know in what way to channel that magic." Okay. What do we? He kind of looks to you, Aerith, since you seem to be the most embroiled in this whole thing. What are we expecting to find? I mean, we know that they have people maybe everywhere. Um, I mean, at least I was poisoned by somebody that I probably trusted. Um, and somebody was definitely aiming for Brielle. Oh, maybe she should have come with us. She might know more, or could give us more guidance. And so, Aerith, you remember that when you were about to be separated, she did give you kind of like a clue. It's like, hey, there is. She told you about the urchin and um, a meeting place, stuff like that. But Eliza, okay, all right. They eat the flesh of this god and sense of euphoria. Elise kind of looks again at Lyrian. It's like, that's a proper cult, Lyrian. This should be fun. Well, we shouldn't say fun. Fun is the wrong word here. This is serious business. Uh Lyrian to Elise is like, oh, I like her. Yeah. So, all right. Well, then it sounds like we have until tonight to know more, particularly when it is we should strike, so to speak, and how we go about doing that. It seems like there's no particular way forward at the moment, and you seem to have the best line on getting that information. So, right, right. Okay. So, what are you expecting might be the fallout? What kind of contingency should we plan for? smash cut to Cobb, who is just like stretched out on like this aluminum plate. And with like Sybil with like many magnifying glasses over her head, like across her face, kind of like on one of those doctor's bands and kind of thing. It's like peering at you. Uh, um, no, I didn't ask for that. And she just continues to scribble notes. Yeah, she's just like totally clueless. It's like, why are you even asking this? Or just like saying this? Uh, yeah. Um. So, uh, but yeah, basically, Cobb. Since I said we were going to do you first and we didn't, what you're pretty much going through is a very, very elaborate and detailed identify spell, more of a ritual, but it seems like identify on steroids. So she kind of talked you through some of the procedure. Basically, the gist you're getting is that um she's looking at your arcanic signature, and she's already determined from your blood that you are very much a frog. Like your blood reacts like a frog's would. And she is currently just looking to see, all right, what is your signature looking like? What is your magical essence looking like? Go ahead and roll an arcane or arcana check, if you would. No. Yeah, this is just, something that, are you proficient in arcana? I assumed you would be. It's a little shy now. It's a little shy now that it's on the spot. Uh yeah, you are. You have a +7. No worries. Yeah, so as she is observing you, she has like these many focal lenses kind of in front of her face. They you can see the runes etched on them. She has incense burning and uh, some kind of. It almost seems like the crashing of waves, the sound of crashing of waves in the background. It's very calming in all actuality, but she does kind of have you like just like laid out on a on a an aluminum pan, and um like didn't have much thought for you as the subject, and you had to like persuade her to put down something between you and the aluminum pan because it's cold and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. uh yeah, and she perfect. Okay. Yeah, and so from what you can gather, uh the Sahiridan did not really train you in the ways of like, yeah, things have an arcanic signature, or you uh would have one yourself. It is kind of unique to you, um stuff like that. But you're getting the gist from what she's looking at and what she's trying to understand is whether or not, because yourself is a frog in its true nature, it has been totally changed, seemingly permanently. Does the arcanic signature fit that of what a frog's might be. Um, so she is going through all that rigmarole, and at the end of this investigation, she concludes that no, your signature is very much different from what you would expect to find in a frog. Your signature, she supposes, matches very much that of your former self, but your self has been altered in a way that is absolute. And so she's hypothesizing that the this this change, whatever it is, uh, maybe the fix, because polymorph doesn't change it, true polymorph doesn't do anything, shape change uh, doesn't seem to hold. Um, Maybe if we can destabilize the self, and she doesn't seem to know exactly what that might be at this point. But if the self can be destabilized, maybe, or can become more transient, maybe we can then shift you into something else. Hopefully, back to what you were before. Um, and she kind of goes on a little bit more off on a limb to be like, maybe the arcanic signature can actually help yourself come back to what it was before, when or if the self can be destabilized. So she kind of goes off on a bunch of theoretical mumbo jumbo, muttering to herself and scribbling down notes and writing new hypotheses and all kinds of stuff. Uh, and it's seems like for the very first time that you might have an avenue to pursue for actually becoming human again. Even though it doesn't make a lot of sense to you, and even though it seems really tenuous from what you can gather. No, the Zahiridim is the Enchanters Guild. It's the eponymous name for the Enchanters Guild from Ankshir. So let me actually make sure I think it's actually called something different. But um, the Enchanters Guild is what I mean. Well, the one thing that comes to mind is what did it in the first place. If we could reconstruct what you've done, perhaps, and that's with a big caveat, perhaps that is what can change you again. Um, but it would have to be precise. It would have to be exact. So I don't know if we can do that. Um, it would appear to me, and I'm not an expert in this area at all, but just from a mechanics perspective, the spirit seems to be housed by the body, right? And in death, the spirit goes on, as far as we understand. So maybe that's enough of a destabilization. But then the body is also dead at that point. So I oh, maybe like an astral projection. Hmm. Things to think about. Much testing is required. Um, I don't anticipate that I will be doing this to you anytime soon. My schedule is rather busy, and I need a lot of things I don't have right now. Um, let's see. Come back to me in, let's say, 3 months or so. I should be able to have gathered sufficient materials, and we can. We can. We. Is that? I'm sorry. Is that a problem? She is like totally clueless. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. As actually, I don't know what she would say in this time at this moment. Um, unfortunately, that is uh, the limits of my schedule, uh, and my resources. Um, I think the word is condolences. I'm not good at this. I do. I there will be. I will be progressing towards potential fixes, but at the moment, I just don't have what I need. So, or the time. But she does give you kind of like this list of kind of a rundown of what she's going to be doing. You know, she wants to test, basically killing a frog and seeing what would happen. You know, if the frog has a spirit, if the frog can then be changed, like the spirit can be put into something else afterwards. Um, so on and so forth. Uh, phylactery. Yeah, yeah. She's going to attempt to. Yeah. Hypnotoad in reality. So, so, she is like she knows that liches are possible, but like, um, it's also one of those. This is not her realm of expertise. This is honestly more of a that particular path of inquiry is much more of an Elise question. So she's going to have to, you know, rope her in at some point. Um, and she just kind of runs through a list of things from there. It's like astral projection. Can we swap the body then? Um, is you know she starts theorizing or like hypothesizing whether or not the soul is tuned to the body, or if the soul could be tuned to something else. Um, Obviously, phylacteries exist, so she's assuming maybe that works, but the phylactery itself isn't alive. So, like, how does How does that work? Could it be alive? Uh, there's just a lot of extra stuff happening, and she's trying to figure out whether or not the body itself can change without having to, you know, dispossess the soul or something along those lines. But yeah, and how related the arcanic signature is to the soul, that's another question that she's going to have to evaluate. So, and she goes through a list of like reagents that she doesn't have that she needs, and for some of her testing, lots of diamonds, lots of special materials that she thinks might help. You've described that it was like a basilisk skull that you were experimenting on. So she is thinking about getting one of those from somewhere in the desert because, trying to replicate as close as possible what may have happened or what she thinks has happened, stuff like that. So, yeah. But she's also beholden to her own schedule and her students and so on and so forth. So there is limited amounts that she can do uh, at any given point. Uh, yeah. She doesn't even notice you leave because she is like deep in thought and, and rummaging through her mind, and you're already out the door before she's like, oh yes, you're welcome. And yeah, where we leave you. So, um, let's see. Okay, we were discussing plans for. Were we discussing plans? We were discussing something for like what to do, contingencies. There we go. Sending Cobb with Brixta. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Uh. All right. That is one way, and we are anticipating that this meeting with Nib, was it, is going to be disrupted. Is that correct? Or is the I'm sorry, is the bait and switch, so to speak, more of a separate matter? Interesting. Okay. And we're not using the cleric herself as bait, so then, all right. Mm, okay. Yes, indeed. I have heard of her spiritedness already. So, yes, that seems reasonable. Um, and perhaps is the goal to take one of these cultists and question them, follow them as they go back? Perhaps, yes. The sooner we could be done with this, the best, I think. And then Lyrian, in her musing, is just kind of like, huh, I wonder what kind of thing they are worshipping if it's not Scepter anymore. I wonder if it's going to be present. Hmm. I I imagined, since they were eating parts of it and they were experiencing this euphoria. Like it's honestly not uncommon amongst occult activity to partake in something other than thyself and have reactions. So, it- though, to be fair, most of the time it's not living. Sorry, my dog just gave like the saddest ooh woo. And I'm just like, what are you howling for? You don't howl. Yeah. Well, then I think that should potentially be our, and she gestures to Elise and herself, our purview. Um, hmm. I should like to know more about what it is they are eating. Uh, but, hmm, potentially. And I think it may be best that we are a surprise. I don't think we'll leave you alone, but we should definitely uh, in the classroom. uh, so, uh, yeah. All right, you guys put together something of a plan. There's a lot of unknowns right now, and there is not a lot to go off of as of yet. More will be discussed potentially after meeting with Nib. Well, hmm, many of our artifacts are, this is at least speaking, are reserved, let's say, not typically for outside use. Uh, However, I shouldn't think that our headmaster should mind overmuch if they go missing for a night. Yeah, and everything's going to be recorded, of course, and it's best to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. Yeah. Well, especially when things are there's murder on the line, so to speak. So it wouldn't do for one of our esteemed students to be involved too much in a murder trial. You can see that Elise want has something to say on that, like play over her face, but she's like, no, I'm not gonna. um, yes, well, please do contact us. And she removes kind of like this amethyst geode from a locked cabinet and puts it into your hand, Aerith. It's like, please use this to get in contact with me should you need assistance. And if we don't hear from you, we'll find you. Uh, she just kind of like gestures with her eyes at the stone. Yeah. Um, well, great. This has been a fruitful meeting and hopefully to bear more fruit and safety for our students. With the added bonus of the Lord owing us even more. Oh, she's just been saying how fruitful this meeting was and that it is going to come with even more perks for the Arcanum, potentially. Oh, no worry about that. I already have something in mind. I My official title here is secretary, and that does cover quite a lot of things for the Arcanum. Well, middays quick approaching, and we should see. Uh, let's see. novices have their mess time, study hall, library hours, and well, then they're really secluded to their dorm. Uh, but if Brixta is the only one among you who can stand in place of Brielle, then we can give her some special permissions for tonight. And it seems that way, yeah. And then I will discuss this with our master of novices so that he is not alarmed at uh, a breaking of protocol. So, Inspector Brumt is just adding things to his little paper notepad. And, all right, what do we do? We'll figure that out, I guess. But I guess we're just muscle. I haven't chased a bad guy in a while. and but he is a half orc, and they are genetically gifted. So, in yeah. So, okay, excellent. Uh, suppose how far do we want to? Well, we won't take up the rest of your time here. I don't have any questions for you. It seems like most of this is well within your hands. I couldn't ask for better help. Honestly, this is quite the windfall. I feel like I'm going to survive. Um, no. Uh, yeah, Radden doesn't seem to have anything else to say. If Folion and is fine, then it seems like this could be adjourned. This little meeting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Potentially. Hmm. Very niche. Very niche. Okay. I guess you do also in the halls find a very dejected frog. That's D&D. The one the one that you're protecting. Yeah. It's fair. She's only grumpy on the exterior. She actually does have a skeleton hanging on a as yeah. as a display anatomy piece, you know. Yeah, Lyrian, Lyrian. Yeah, so Professor Orndale is Lyrian. Yeah, yeah. They're the two. They, I think, initially thought maybe three, but um, yeah, I think they maybe think that they're probably enough. Yep. Rad just kind of salutes, and I'm just like, for what I'm worth. Yep. His little frog pats on the cheek. And Carl was there. Ren's like, oh yeah, I forgot about Carl. Carl. Yeah. It's only been 3 days, guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Elise kind of does. She gives that vibe. Yeah. Like it's kind of obvious just from the way that she dresses. So Well, she's not here right now. She's in class. You asked. Mm, so, warlocks make deals to get their power. They are born with the power. It's not the generally accepted line of thought is that because they have an ancestor that was really good at magic, it can happen randomly. Conventional thought is that it's been mortal or just random, you know. Not with this guy. Yeah. um. Well, you don't really have a basement, so. Okay. Um. Your mystery aside, should we? What should we do for the next several hours? I guess you might draw more attention that way. If I'm being honest. Yeah. I honestly, I'm not sure how much more help you could get that would be worthwhile. You've got two faculty members of the Arcanum. They're, I mean, famed as the best wizards in all the land. So I maybe I'm overestimating what magic can do, but it's magic. Yeah. Okay. Um, I mean, I'll be there. To the library. All right. Just a chopper in the back. Yeah. Okay. Um, it's not. Yeah. Go any further there. We'll go ahead and take a break here for some foods and meet back in like 15-20 minutes ish. Right? Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's a good sign. See it. And we're on. All right. So, no war crimes today. Um, we can rehave that conversation. I mean, Lyrian's an elf. Uh, Radin and Aerith. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So, like, Aerith would be considered part of a subculture of elves that is trying to divest itself and from what they consider more of a stagnant culture. Um, and so, yeah, there some of them, many of them, try to get busy. uh, but yeah, there's not. It happens pretty much like anybody else. At least for the mechanics of the whole endeavor. So it's not an elf. It's not an elven breeding program. It feels like a natural consequence of their nearly their entire people getting wiped out. So sorry. I mean, it's also happening with the dwarves and the gnomes. So, well, not so much with the gnomes actually. They're a little different. If it is a program, it's very subconscious. Sort of. Like, I mean, there is definitely a concerted effort involved, like conscious effort, but it's not like, all right, they all got into a room together and decided that this is how it's going to be. It's like, yeah, No. So there are two subcultures that kind of ascribe to this belief, more or less. Um, well, kind of three or four. But anyways, like the Mier Dene, they want to go out and see the world. They don't like, yes, Vala is home. It will probably always be home, or Vera, or uh Vas Vassarin. There we go. But it is, yeah, they're kind of like, we something's happening back home that is not helping us grow. It seems like it's keeping a status quo. So it's more of a political movement, honestly, than anything else. Uh, I mean, he's trying to do it on his own. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah. Yeah. So like the so like the gnomes, they've they actually act a lot more like the elves in Free Ren. Like they're just kind of absent-minded about the whole thing. So they're the most in danger of extinction, actually. Um, and they were the ones that were also hit the hardest by uh, the culling. So yeah, the dwarves weathered it probably the best, but they also have shorter lifespans and a bit more libido than the other long-lived races. And so they have a little bit more urgency in their kind of demeanor. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right. We're back talking about dwarven libido now. Um You brought it up, so now it's world building. Okay. Jokes. Uh I like deadpan jokes. I'm a fan. That sounds horrible. Hmm. You know, con- consequences, I guess. uh, well, yeah. So we can move on. You guys were headed to the library. Okay. So heading to the library with the five of you. You do find that these doors are wide open. You see the same scene that you have before, but you cannot pass through the threshold. And that so the librarian does come up to the entrance and says, "Oh, it my well, it seems you are not students and cannot uh, use the facilities. If you, I believe you had a friend that is a student now. Yeah. If she were with you, you could come back again and partake." Uh, Unfortunately, no. To members of the school. N- no, you've been banned. Yeah. Mhm. The the librarian does decline, and is very much like, no, you're banned, so it wouldn't work anyways. No, he's more concerned about the library than bestiality. Yeah, priorities. It's more like the bestiality is just not a consideration, and he's only concerned for the library. The goddess. She is the patron of many an artist. Domains are love and chance and something else that I'm probably forgetting, but oh, interesting. You could go to our temple, and I mean, it's not a short walk, but it's a short walk for Ambrin. Yeah, we could time skip. I mean, or like somebody choking Cobb instead. So, it at least gave you more the impression that she would bring stuff for you. Yeah. um. So in the meantime, you guys can do something. Like there are libraries in town. This is in the third tier. Is it third tier? Or maybe it is Hightown. I can't remember. But somewhere relatively close by. You could go to the Lore Keepers Library. They do have a chapter here. Um, they are famed librarians that have libraries all over civilized Alar. Okay. Yeah. So you come up to this rather brutalist looking building. It looks like a very big box. Um, and you ascend its stairs. There seem to be a lot of them, but it does ascend up off of the street into very large uh, wooden doors. And as you approach the doors do swing open to allow you entry. And inside, you see kind of like this amber glow, a very soft light, just like little pinpricks in darkness. Um, and you go into this, what is kind of like an antechamber, might have even been an atrium if there were windows, but um, it's mostly just lit by kind of these little floating motes of uh you could assume are firelight, but you don't feel any heat or um yeah, you don't feel any heat from them. So as you enter into this space, and it's got this tiled marble antechamber, benches line the walls in your immediate vicinity, and then there's this big old wooden crescent desk that a robed figure attends. At the moment, there is kind of like a queue leading up to it, and people are writing their names in books or in a book. They are speaking with the attendant to about what they're here for, what they can find, and then you see that this attendant scribbles something on a piece of paper, kind of tears it away from a book, and lets it flutter away. And these people follow these pieces of paper. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, you do so. And as you run, as the queue winds down and you get up to the attendant, the attendant says to you, "Ah, oh, my apologies. Are you infirmed? Are you unwell? Who's they? May I ask?" Uh, okay. Oh, I don't have dice. Out. I forgot I had this dice. Okay. Um. Right. Yep. He like decides to believe you, but you can see that it's not like he's not easy about it. So kind of it's a little bit of a mind over matter thing. It's like I don't know if I can trust that given how bandaged he is, but I am trusting in who was presented to me as a medical professional. So, um, so he asks you to please write your name in this really large book, and you see entries all the way down it. Um, and he's just recording who comes in, who leaves, who is uh, using the facilities. Um, and I guess you would add your mark to it, however you please. Sure. Yeah. Nice. 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 Okay. Yeah, you peruse the list, and this goes back to sometime this day. This library branch has seen lots of use, and judging from the queue and like the length of the pages, like you can kind of guess that uh, there is just constant flow of people coming in to use the library. Um, and so you don't notice any names that catch your eye. It's worth asking, yeah, at least. So, you yeah, you put your name down, you put your mark in there, and you then the attendant is like, "All right, since it is your first time, I am assuming." Yeah, like he says that, ask that as a question. Yeah. Um, Good. So, how this works is you tell me what you want to find, and then I will write something down. Uh, And then that little piece of paper is going to, if you've noticed, fly off and take you to where you need to be. Interesting. And since you've been so forthright with me, um, this is not for any nefarious purposes whatsoever. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yes. He decides to yeah, he does end up writing fair point, I guess. Um he then, writes down several things. Um consults, looks like he seems to like cast a spell to bring things to his attention. Um yeah, I mean, for the magic among you, it's kind of like he's searching a database with a spell. And so he writes them down. Uh, if you can see what he's writing, it's basically just title and author. And he tears away the piece of paper, tosses it into the air, and then it kind of origamis itself and flutters away. Um, and yeah, and he's like, go, and now you follow. And quiet, please. So as you go and follow it, it takes you to three different stacks of bookcases, and you pull out a variety of things. What he wrote down for you basically was um, things on like security detail. So some of it is like uh, basically like a memoir of one of the um, armsmen from the Explorers League. Um, yeah, it even happens to be Sir Hawthorne. And then some of it's about uh, very small little treaties on like tactics and uh, well, okay, the second book I guess would be more like a small treatise on tactics, and it's more or less like military tactics, large scale stuff, but you know, occupy the areas of interest, utilize your higher ground, etc. Um, manipulating other forces, um, etc. Yeah. So it you can extrapolate some things from that, but some of it breaks down when it's individual to individual. So yeah, and It's kind of like Sun Tzu's like Art of War, more or less, is what you got. Um, yeah. And then you've got um, it's kind of more like an article than anything else. Um, like a community piece that's just kind of talking about uh, being confident in your own presence, acting like you belong where you are, and people tend not to tend to believe you. Just not even consciously. If you present yourself like you do belong there. So yeah, yeah, that's about what you get. Given Folion's reading level, it may take you a while to get through it all, and maybe even to kind of like piece it together. But yeah, say what? Yeah, okay, yeah, but not long reads. Like the Art of War analog is very dry, but yeah, it's very short at the very least. So um, yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to do here, or was it just for Folion? Because Aerith, didn't you want to go to the library for something? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can, if you just wanted to like look up things about Lissa, then you get kind of a couple of books based on that description. Like, um, one of them is like the history of Lissa's church, and it kind of goes back the 200 years and 206 years, and it gives you kind of like uh, the perceived origin story of how Lissa was freed from Sartan Mall, and which was the demonic prison that a lot of the gods were supposedly imprisoned at. Um, and how she came to prominence, and then the establishment of a pantheon, because that fixed a lot of political or ideological differences in a lot of infighting in the region of Lar. Um, and then, ever since, she's been kind of just this force of chance and love and um, very much more like a sexual love, a romantic love, um, and fertility and stuff like that. So, uh, as far as rituals go, there is like temple prostitution within Lissa's following, but it is more of a, well, I don't know if it's ever not been, but it is a show of devotion. Like it's like this is something we do for the masses because this is how our goddess expresses, you know, her um her love to her followers, and we want to emulate that, and etc. So very kind of like Aphrodite type stuff. Yeah. Oh, it goes into like a number of things that can enhance the it goes into a number of things that can enhance the experience, so like yes, there is like use of aphrodisiacs and stuff like that, at least recorded. It's not really described how they do it necessarily, but yeah. it could be, it could not be. Based like you're getting kind of more of like the textbook answers, and the actual responses you imagine because of what it is, just because of sex, is, probably a little different. uh, yeah. Yeah. She is frequent. Yeah, she is frequently. Because like when people mention Lissa, they also think, especially in Ambrin, of Nixaris, who was the the demon that reigned over Ambrin, who is now considered more or less like a dark goddess of like lust, lies, and um, something else. But yeah, cruelty or something like that. Yeah. So like, there's yeah, potentially. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, then you've used several hours. Brixta, you are kind of in that evening span of, it's not quite twilight yet, but it is. You're free. You're done for the day. You can speak with your other novices. The other novices are of a variety of ages. Like, they are not all just youngins. Um, yeah, the day is yours within the parameters of the Arcanum, so to speak. So it was quickly put out. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Um, Along the way, we shall say, you meet up with. You don't quite recognize them at first, but there are a couple of robed figures. They don't have their hoods up or anything like that, but or cloaked, I guess. Yeah. Figures that kind of, they move down the hall towards you, and uh, as you're about to intercept them, one of them calls out, "It's like, Brixta," and you look over to them, and it's Lyrian, Orndale, and Elise, and Elise just kind of like gives you this motion. Come with me. Uh, and Elise is like, "We were coming to get you at your dorm, but it seems like you were not headed in that direction." Hmm. Well, so much. Perhaps we'll avoid Rendith then, but We'll see. Oh, we are going. Well, you have somewhere to be tonight. We have been planning. Yes, we have uh, been planning with your friends. Ah. And I should hope you don't have to lie to us very often either. Uh, oh yes, yes, I understand. Um, so, uh, we should catch you up on many of the things that are supposed to happen. Uh, so, Lyrian and I, we will be accompanying you uh, from a distance. We should be able to remain unseen, but our hope is that we would be helping you in taking down this cult, clearing up your name, making sure that the Arcanum is not um what's the word I'm looking for? Not harboring a murderer, so to speak. um but are you sure you're the one that should be doing this? Lyrian and Elise kind of look at each other and kind of like with one of these, like, uh huh, kind of glances. Right. Aventhal, yeah. Oh, I'm sure there there may be. Yeah. Uh it is not that we distrust you. It is the information that we might distrust. So, or at least be skeptical of. Uh Rarely are things so cut and dry with the divine. So, oh, that does bring to mind a conversation that we need to have. uh, how did you uh, this entity? Do you have a name? Do you have uh, an idea of what it is? Looks like, and you guys are walking down the halls as you're conversing. I see. You like hear like you see it kind of out of the corner of your eye, but like you you see Lyrian kind of like fall, like stumble a little bit, and she catches herself, but she's just kind of like, oh no. And when you talk about how it was sleeping and then it was not, and it showed up in dreams and stuff like that, um uh yeah, there's kind of like this moment that passes between Elise and Lyrian, and they're just like, okay. Um, Elise turns to Lyrian. Lyrian, you would like to say something, perhaps? Oh, so Elise, she stops. They both stop, and they turn to you. She like kind of takes the chopstick and puts it back into your hair and sets it there. Shot, and then she's like taking you at the elbows and it's like, my darling girl, that is totally unnecessary. We know that you're not perhaps normal. And that is okay. Nobody here is normal. It We understand that you are eager to prove yourself, and we cherish we cherish that. We know that you have integrity and you have good wishes. We are here to help steward that and to help you make this future of yours possible, if we can. Your appearance, your heritage, that is not our what we are so concerned by at this moment. Lyrian then is like, darling, we are more concerned with that you have awakened something out in the ether that was not awake before. Um, no, oh, and sh- fair enough. That is, ooh, I hesitate to call you naive, but oh, child, that is perhaps a naive point of view. There are beings that we have no recollection of, no knowledge of. Many of them are not kindly dispositioned to us in this material plane, or at least are so alien that their moral structure is totally other than ours, and we would consider it evil. Did it know what dragons were? How much contact have you had? Recognize. So, okay, do you. Let me see. Does Brixton know what Draconic is? And interesting. Well, that sounds very much like, well, what we use for magic. Um, at another time, because we do have somewhere to be, would you mind terribly if I were to come to your dreams? And where is it that you are supposed to be? Says another voice from around a corner who reveals himself to be Varric Rendith. Secretary, my dear master of novices, uh, we have something very special to do with Brixta, and it does unfortunately require us to be off campus. And does this have anything to do with the safety of one of my charges? Yes, I do mean you. We confess, Rendith, that it might. Then I shall attend. You, but what about the rest of your charges? They are here in the Arcanum where they're supposed to be, and I have, shall we say, instilled in them proper etiquette. That is not my speaking of your character, Brixta. Entirely. Lyrian and Elise give each other a look. Well, I can't say that going up against perhaps something masquerading as a god, the help would not be unwanted, Elise. Yes, but there are already too many hands in the pot. And what should the headmaster say? Well, he's off abroad right now. What is he going to know except what you tell him? Well, Rendith has other opinions about integrity. And they at least gives Varric kind of a sidelong look. Uh, yes, Elise, but where you forget yourself is that I take the safety of my charges very seriously. And I have heard whispers around campus that our new well, I was going to say prodigal, but no. Our new charge is uh embroiled in something, well, it cannot remain discreet for long and is not good for either her safety or health, or perhaps ours. Lyrian is like, child, we believe you. Okay? Amberin is not a safe city, and you have learned that. Self-defense self-defense is a matter of the courts, unfortunately, and public opinion. So all right, Rendith, you're in. We are clandestinely going to leave campus with Brixta. Brixta is assuming the identity of someone people want very badly, as I understand it. And we can't just uh, capture your would-be kidnappers and interrogate them. The Rendi turns to Elise and Lyrian. It's like, yes, and that is precisely what we're there for. Is this god business? We don't know what to expect, but we should greatly appreciate your help. It's just going to be fine. Fine, she says. This is going to be a trying season of novices, I think. Yes, or exciting. Uh, so Rendith casts a simple disguise self and alters his appearance. And, well, then, are we not wasting time? Shouldn't you know that? Alley of Embers, I believe, which is down in the fourth tier. So, okay. All right. Yeah, Carl is also there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. I don't know where that is cuz my area was like in the third tier. Um but I can ask. Wait, you forgot about me? Wait, hang on. Oh. You just like see him wilt. So you guys head out of the Hall of Promise. You exit into the campus grounds. You exit from the campus. You head over to one of the great lifts and are quickly approaching the fourth tier, Tinkertown. And so, and like from the disc, if you do like, they are like 100 meters wide in diameter, but like, um, you can look out over the edge, and like as you clear, uh, well, basically the crust, I guess, uh, and the this lower city is revealed to you. You can still see, it still feels like almost twilight. There is light here. It is not just this dark subterranean place. Um, but yeah, down below is like you see steam billowing up and smoke and all kinds of stuff. You see where the canals kind of move in. You see the pattern of the city from way up on high, and it's rather beautiful. There is also a lot of lights down below as kind of the nightlife starts to get kicking, rolling, and a lot of those um, uh, flashing illusory images in just hanging in midair outside of local establishments and whatnot. And they create kind of like this uh, twinkling, starry cityscape down below. Um, yeah, and the closer you get, obviously, the more things kind of expand around you, the less of the city you can see, and before long, you're on the fourth tier, and from there, you don't even know where your professors are anymore. They have hidden themselves within the crowd, and caravans get off the disc. People go wherever they are needing to go, and you step off. And with Carl, he's like, "All right, there's a guard posting this way. I'm gonna go ask directions." Great. Okay. Um. Um. But I'm gonna try my best to keep you from being taken. Okay. Oh, okay. Man, I wish Corporal Steinebuck were around. I think I feel like he's been trying his best to like protect us and insulate us from like whatever more could be happening. Um, I guess, yeah, I suppose. Well, anyway, okay, I'm gonna be right back. And he just jogs off, with his spear. um, you hear kind of in your ear, like, "Don't worry so much, we're around." No. And um yeah, he comes back not too long after. What are the rest of you all doing as you're getting ready to go? Okay. um so let's say that you guys were informed by Elise. um to meet them at the Arcanum. And yeah, let's say you guys got all together there and have gone down to the fourth tier from there. That makes the most sense. So, which conversation? Oh, it might have, but you're there. Oh, well, the Shinerbrook thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. The he, yeah. Well, I guess we retcon the Steinerbrook comment, but yeah, it's like don't worry, Carl. I know where we're going. It's fine. It's like, oh man, Steinerbrook to save the day. Oh golly gosh. Um, yeah, I feel okay. Cool. All right. So you all uh, make your way to the Alley of Embers. And so basically, what this place is it's less of an alley and much more of a street. Um, but it is right against um, a series of industrial smithies and smelting operations and stuff like that. So there is constantly these embers that get uh, splatter around and kind of pock the street. Um, and you know, for Ambrin, sure, this is a small street. And alongside it, there's just a bunch of uh, how, yeah, small houses for carousing. So there's taverns, there's ale houses, there's brothels, etc. This is a little bit kind of like a red light district, so to speak. You're on like the edge of it. So it's very much where a lot of the industrial workers will end up going to. Um, yeah, at the end of their day. Yes. Um, Fairly close together. Yeah, if you think like a Tudor style, uh, just conjunction of buildings. Yeah, everything is pretty tightly put together. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, if you could get up on the roofs, a lot of it would just be a contiguous roof. Like it would just continue because it's like a row. Okay. Yeah. So um, I guess Aerith would have the precise directions, and so in this alley of embers, there is oh, a small little street that leads to a court, but it doesn't look like it's very well lit. It doesn't look like it's kind of like at the end of the street. Not a lot of people use it. The court that this place goes into looks like it's more like a dormitory. So people aren't necessarily really here at the moment because you know they're still in transition from work to carousing and then probably coming back to the dorm. Um, so yeah, at this juncture on this street is more or less where the meeting is supposed to take place, or it is. Not more or less, it is. Okay. Okay. So, um, one of the things that is in the note or that you were given, Aerith, was the passphrase. There is a passphrase. Did I send that to you? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So basically it goes oh shoot. How does it go? Okay, so the call is the light is fading, but and the response is but the embers still burn. Still burn. Okay, so you're the one going into it, not would be Brielle. Okay. How are you following Brielle? Did you is it like you're obviously there, or did you want to try and hide your presence? Make a stealth check, by the way, Folion. A handful. So like 5 or 6, I would assume. Okay. Okay. Um then go ahead and roll me either intimidation or performance. Yes. Okay. Hot 10. Hot 10. Okay. So you don't know where at least yeah, you can't see where the professors are. Um you do notice people down the road. um, just having a jolly old time. Some of them kind of trying to stable themselves against the wall, and you know, definitely drunker than most. Um, yeah, but you can't spot if any of them are the professors. You can't spot which ones are. Um, so yeah, you're good. Hmm. Yeah, they just look like they're patrolling. You know, yeah, they're trying to like just keep an eye on the surroundings. Um, look like maybe they're favoring a particular end of the street, but not trying not to draw suspicion, even though that's suspicious. Yeah. Yeah. So, um, Bricksta, looks like it's on you. What you doing? You don't see an urchin, but you do see a spot that looks like it's supposed to be the meeting. So, very soon after entering this little alleyway, for the lack of a better term, there is a corner that turns into, you would see the courtyard. Um, Before you reach that corner, because there's some trash piled up around here. You've got a signpost out there that says, this is I don't know, some street name. It's insignificant in the grand scheme of Amberin, but it yeah, it's not clean. It's not well lit. There's not a lot of people around, if any. But from around the corner, as if anticipating you, you hear the light is fading. What's with the guards? What's with the guards? I can't hear her, but whoa. Right. Well, I've been hiding for the past 2 weeks from those people. Um, what, what, what do you know of Eliza? No, just you. No one else. How'd you get the code? How'd you get the passphrase? Yeah. Yeah, from Brielle. Yeah. Yeah, you can try to persuade him. Yeah. Okay. His insight check, or yeah, the urchin's insight check was not great. So I am, yeah. Um. Oh no, and like believing you is kind of how I was. I don't care about the goddess. I just care about Eliza. I want to know if she's okay. I like how she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to spearhead this." I don't know what to say. do, do you know where she is? How do you like the seeker? Oh, you cut out. Yeah, well, that makes two of us. Ah, whatever this. Well, I had to hide from his goons. Even coming poking my head out like this is look. I I think you're who I'm supposed to give this to. There's a bag that gets tossed out from behind the corner. Um, I can't. Doesn't make any sense to me. Uh, but Eliza said that whoever came with the passphrase would know what to do. So I I'd suggest burying your mace in his throat. There's no response. Do you check? No. Yeah. You. Sorry, Folion. You see. Do you have dark vision? Okay. So you see a small person, uh, very quietly, just back away, from where he was hidden behind the corner, um, and seems to go into kind of like a storm cellar type situation. Well, storm cellar for us, but like a cellar door, and just kind of disappears from view. But yeah, for Aerith, you look around the corner when you don't get a response because you are super uh worried about this. Wow. Um you're super worried. And yeah, you don't see anybody. Nobody's there. Yeah. No. Yeah. So Brixta, what you see in the bag is a journal. Keep cutting out. But yeah, you can certainly make an arcana check to like just give it a cursory look over without like an identify spell. You wouldn't, or detect magic perhaps. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Um. So you do see uh a faint glow of what looks to be illusory magic over the book. You can use an Arcana check, um, if you wish. Oh, that's what's happening. Sorry, but you could also do like an identify spell or something along those lines. Identify would be more accurate than an Arcana check. An Arcana check is just kind of like, uh, in this sense, it would be like an investigation. If you have, if all you have is Arcana, then you can do an Arcana check. Okay. Um. Yes, this book is clearly enchanted. It looks like the inane writings to you of just somebody who goes through their day, and it's kind of airheaded and doesn't seem very pertinent to anything. But it is definitely got something magical going on. It's just something that you don't understand quite how it works necessarily. You think you do determine that, yeah, there's probably some kind of trigger here, but whatever kind of trigger or um, way to decode it would be you could either brute force it with like dispel magic, or you could attempt to figure out what the trigger is. And you imagine it has whatever kind of trigger it would be something that would matter or would be obvious to whoever Eliza meant this for. Um, who from the shadows, you all hear Elise uh, say, "Well, we don't need you. We would prefer you not to get kidnapped. Uh, we understand that's part of the plan. But if right now we have something to decode that can give us more information, maybe that's better." We still have time. Like there's all of tonight. Seemingly a beggar kind of comes around the corner. It looks like he's got a bottle. But you hear Rendith's voice, and he's just kind of like, "I think we should know what we're walking into, and perhaps this journal might give us more information onto that." Okay, so you guys look for a beggar. Oh yeah. Well, two of them are there, so you know. Yeah. For the foreseeable. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you guys gather up the group. You're able to go put together this. Yeah, I guess that didn't make a lot of. Well, I guess it did make some sense because you would have left with Rindy from the Arcanum. But yeah. So, yeah, you let's say expedite this, and you do find somebody that can get you into the Beggar's Respite. Uh, they take the coin from Aerith, do something with the door, are able to get into uh, the Beggar's Respite, and you all enter in. You find Brielle and uh, yeah, and Carl is there. Yeah, yeah. Brielle opens the door and says, "How did it go? Uh, are we? Is it over?" Oh my gosh! I knew she made notes. She takes it and looks it over. Um, I assume. Yeah. Uh yeah, right. Um the professors, they all like move as if to make a spell, and they all kind of locate each other. It's like, let me do it. And they they create this spell that basically prevents eavesdropping. Um but they all have like the mind to do it. uh and so right. So then, um Brielle, good to meet you. I We have not met before, although I have seen your likeness in Brixta. I am Secretary Elise Danvis. This is our esteemed Professor Lyrian Orndale and Professor Varric Rendith. We are from the Arcanum. Um, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I. How did you get them involved? Ah, yeah. Uh, Glad to have your help. Yeah, think nothing of it. We are happy to help our students. So, this journal, are you able to crack it open? Well, she like flits through it a little bit. Um, huh. She moves over to a desk. In there, she takes kind of a knife that was from one of her meals, wipes it off as much as she can, and between the end sheet and the cover, she just kind of like seems to like be cutting into there. She removes this what looks to be like a cracked lens. Um, yeah. Oh, Eliza. Uh, eh, ah, okay. Um, it it doesn't. I mean, it's just a cracked lens to me, but I do have an inkling about what she's getting at. She was always one for a bit of poetry, I suppose. So I can't do this anymore. But Aerith, if you would please produce some light. I was thinking more like the light cantrip, but like it's like it could be. uh let's do a, yeah, word of radiance works fine for this purpose. Yeah. So you cast this word of radiance, and there's this burst of radiant energy around you. Um, and some of it gets caught in the lens and refracted across the book. And you see like this golden light just kind of peel away, kind of like oh man, like that really thin wispy paper that you just kind of like set on fire and it just kind of yeah, 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 yeah. And Beneath is a very tattered, leather bound tome. It's kind of thin, um, but yeah, you look through it and it's got scrawlings all across it. It looks like, oh, it you look through it and it's got these scrawling paperwork messages all throughout it. And yeah, it's basically like the whole like red thread kind of situation, but in written form. Yeah. And yeah. So here I will drop this into, hopefully this um works well enough. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. This is kind of like a rough overview of what you're finding inside. But yeah. Lyrian and Rendith are just kind of like, oh, she has this ready. Okay, well. Oh, uh, territory, but in the city seems to indicate perhaps even a gang, maybe. I'm sorry. Who's this Duke? Ah. Hmm. Well, Brix is just so just so salty that she hasn't been kidnapped yet. I shouldn't be encouraging your heroic streak, but rest assured that it would be far more heroic to simply find them and put an end to them than being kidnapped. We have thought of that particular. Yeah. If it's underground, then fireballs work amazingly well. So Amelia, she was like, "Oh, the seeker will know, and he'll come get you." Yeah. His captain was what was his captain's name? Armand, Armand, something like that. Lugo Armand. Yeah. Do do we know that these uh miscreants, I guess, um, are associated with Duke? Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have any particular contacts in the underworld. And nor do I. I mean, uh, well, not, hmm, not in this plane. Um, Lyrian. She's like, well, I don't think they're gonna help though. So, oh yeah, scrawny little guy that's good with his hands. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I think we have to make our decision whether or not we are acting on the information we've learned tonight. It would work better for us if it was tonight. But since it is your safety that we are concerned with, it is up to you how to proceed. Hmm. Agreed. We just have to figure out who these Gutterkin are, it seems. Sure. It does seem to me that perhaps if Eliza knew at least of the Gutterkin, then perhaps other people around her may have known. So she kind of like looks a question to Brielle. It's like I, I don't know who they are. I kind of buried my head in the sand, so to speak, and I've spent most of my time working at the Riverlight Garden. Oh, that's where I remember you. I nope, I sure don't. Inspector, you must know of the city's gangs or disreputable types. Yeah, but seems to be enough going on with in the bazaar. So I don't know much beyond tier 3. If it is a gang, it could just be a local street gang, like maybe a bunch of orphans or other urchins getting together. That's typical, but it's not usually like an official gang. Just something big enough that keeps the other more cruel organizations from taking advantage of them. That's common enough. Uh, I don't know of any particular monstrosities in the fourth, or not the fourth tier. I guess the temple bee would be up in the second tier. But yeah, yeah. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. I think we'll have to investigate, but we might be going in blind for. Yeah. Well, whatever we decide, we will enact next time.